Hello everyone, my name is Raul. The air temperature now is 20 Celsius below zero, and I think it's time to start testing cars with diesel engines, especially if it's Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. Rough forms of previous Prado now are gone. We are facing a car that appears in Japanese elegant and, of course, luxurious. The tailgate is elaborate. First, there is a button on the key fob to open the trunk, but it just means that you can open the upper section. In order to open the door itself, you can find the lever here, and it opens. 621 liter when all seats are in the normal position. If we expand the third seat row, the volume is reduced to 104 liters. Well, if you fold all the seats except the front, you'll get a giant cargo space, more than 500 gallons, or rather 1,934 liters. To open the upper section of the door, it's not necessary to use the keychain. Here is a button. You press, it opens. The interior is seriously moved forward compared to the old version of this car. Here we have much more luxury options. Comparing with the previous Prado, the cockpit looks much more impressive. The dashboard got multimedia system with almost 7-inch monitor, a lot of leather and decorative mahogany. The dimensions of cockpit palms me. Hefty current will feel comfortable. But if fragile girl sharply presses the accelerator, it's gonna be hard for us to find her without specially trained dogs. Vehicle starts to walk with start button. It has optional rear view camera. You can find here not only heated front and rear seats, but the heated steering wheel too. The third row seats are adjusted with servo, and this is a refrigerator. However, this car is not in the top configuration. Somewhere there on the top of $90,000 you can get a real chicken shine with a round view camera, navigation system, entertainment system for rear passengers and a huge amount of options which you will never find in the VX version. Front passengers have 2 cup holders and I'd call it a bottle holder, and it fits only for 2 brands of vodka, Ruski Standard and Ukrainian Nemirov, but this option for premium fishermen. The back seat backs are regulated so as you can move it in its way. You may have noticed the armrest. It is comfortable and trimmed in leather. Press this button and you will see 2 cup holders. It is very convenient. Rear seats are heated. Besides, we have separate climate control for the rear passengers. Everything can be controlled by this nice control block. Believe me, Prado is not Range Rover. It should not be liked by everyone. I push the start button. The last engine start was made an hour ago. 20 degrees below zero outside. The diesel engine. It works! But to warm up the engine as fast as possible and to warm up the cabin at the same time, push this button, which is somewhere on the level of your left knee. Well, let's start. The 3-liter D4D engine is a well-known turbo from Toyota. It delivers 173 horsepower, but torque is 410 newtons, begin to emerge from 1600 RPM. Acceleration is impressive. Prado copes its weight easily. 2,360 kilograms of cab weight doesn't seem like too much trouble for this car. It is quite hard to load the engine. You can drive for 20 minutes, but the engine will not warm up without the heating system. Acceleration to 60 miles an hour takes more than 11 seconds. This is not a sports car for sure, but it's still impressive. You can get many emotions when acceleration pedal at floor. The best comparison, the elevator that suddenly dropped down. The top speed is 175 km per hour. Porsche Cayenne owner now indulgently smiling, but we'll talk about it later. Another compelling argument for diesel engine is fuel consumption, from 9 to 12 liters in the city. On the highway, you can find a figure of 7.5 liters. How can we forget the previous Prado with 4-liter gasoline engine? It's absorbed at least 17 liters of gasoline per 100 kilometers. We didn't know where to get such big cistern for it. This is one of those occasions when parting was emotionally sad but economically justified. The transmission is 5-speed automatic, time-tested and reliable as ever, so fond of saying marketers. Everything is set up for a smooth and comfortable ride, to avoid a situation where suddenly awakened torque appeared in the trunk of your neighbor's car. Fortunately, there is a manual mode that significantly alters the nature of driving. The car feels confident in the road flow. It performs good combination of power and maneuverability, thanks to the special system which changes the stiffness of stabilizers. Prado has a spring suspension, but it's not radically affect the comfort inside the car. Feels like our broken roads turn into the perfect tarmac. As for handling, maneuvers should be done in advance. And remember about the size and weight of the car. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the Touareg. Land Cruiser Prado, one of the few cars where it's difficult to describe the portrait of its owner. On the other hand, I know that it has a medical use. If you are diagnosed with inferiority complex, Land Cruiser Prado will cure you in a week. However, you can get megalomania. By the way, some such people live in Ukraine. I'm trying to call to our office, but there is no answer. Is there somebody at all? Where is he going? Out of my way, bitch! Get the fuck out of here, bitch! Damn. Moron. Well, now it's time to go off-road, to understand what is really worth this car. Now we are facing our famous hill. We usually check the abilities of crossovers over here. Today we have a car with an advanced all-wheel drive system. But the funny thing is that the road conditions have improved at this time, because the sand got frozen and it's not so snowy. Therefore, for this exercise, I'm not going to go low-range gears. The Prado climbs without its help. We'll see it now. And now we will activate a feature called Descent Control. Push the button. I trust this system, so now I just get my feet off the pedals. Well, it works and works great. Prado is equipped with traditional all-time four-wheel drive system with torsion center differential. In Ukraine you can get configuration with locking rear differential. But typical user can know that the center control has a special button and a mode switcher for harsh terrain. If the car couldn't do it, then you either have overestimated the threat or didn't care about off-road tires. The ground clearance is 215 mm. It is clear that the light off-road is a piece of cake for Prado. But we decided to avoid the trip through the real off-road modder instead of this car's price, almost $80,000. However, the statistics showed that 85% owners of Prado are not going to waste their cars in the hell of mud. When you drive this car, you can feel like you turn on the God mode in famous shooter Doom 2. You don't complain about enemies. In our case, suspension seems immortal and the power seems indestructible. Out of the roads, Prado can give a reasonable advice for Cayenne and Touareg where is the nearest service station. If the Japanese were able to do such tanks in the Second World War, the part of Southeast Asia would remain under their control. In fact, already in 80s, the income of their corporations could lead them to buy this territory. This opportunity may appear again very soon. I think that the main difference between Land Cruiser Prado from the rest SUVs is that Toyota remains true off-road capability of the vehicle. There is a really advanced all-wheel drive system. It's simply immortal suspension. You can jump on trampolines, landing on one wheel at the same time. Nothing's gonna happen to you. Even more, nothing happens to the car itself. So if we talk about the Touareg, we'll see that it consists from highway vehicle on 70%, the rest is true off-roader. Land Cruiser Prado, it's exactly the opposite. You'll probably won't want to go to the terrible crooked off-road on this beautiful deluxe classic car, because you can come back with heavy losses and repair can cost a lot of money. Naturally, I'm talking about a facelift, because to kill the heart of this car is simply impossible.